is everybody is striving for remote jobs. There have been a term gig economy or freelancing, which have been popular since last 2 years post-COVID. Different countries have done different scalabilities, and there are two sorts of remote jobs. First, if you try to make segregation, first are the remote jobs, which are full-time jobs, like 9 to 5 jobs, which used to be physically there, but now you just work remotely because in COVID, nobody could go to offices, the virus, the precautions, the HIPAA compliance, OSHA compliance, they all kicked in. And many employees had to stay and work remotely. Companies learned, many companies benefited, many still did not, took that positively, and they forced their employees to come back. Anyways, long story short, employees learned that work could be done remotely. Employers learned that workers could work remotely. Some were not very happy, some were very happy. There are different pros and cons, we'll not get into that. But the main name of the game is the jobs still exist. They keep on growing. People realize that it benefits them. But today we'll cover about how to get remote jobs from anywhere in the world. So first were 9 to 5 jobs, which went from physical to remote. Now, second are kind of remote jobs where the world is moving towards. Now, if you heard Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and other Facebook-like players, they are the ones who create the economic structure. And they are more in tune towards gig economy. Now, what is gig economy? Let's say you get paid $100,000 a year and you work for a company and you're a marketing manager, you're a digital marketing manager, you're a content manager, you're a data scientist. But in gig economy, you work for different clients. And let's say Facebook has 10,000 jobs a year, but Facebook realizes that I can break one job into 40, 50 gig jobs. So instead of paying somebody $5,000 or $10,000 a month, I will like to pay $500 for task. And in that way, I can put 20 tasks and I can have that person. And sometimes that person could be remote. So instead of 500, I could get the work done in $200, right? So that's why you see there are different portals which are now not even $1 million, but billions of dollars, double digit unicorns. Like Upwork is there, freelancer.com have been there for a while. There is a new site which is growing. It used to be a tracking site called HubStaff. Now they have launched their portal called Hub Talent. Look into that. There is a site called flexijobs.com. There is a site called justremote.com. There is a site called remotewoman.com, focused towards female-based remote jobs. There is a site called Angie's List where small jobs are available, but see, you have to realize if you are a beginner or if you are an internee who has been interning for free for some time or not even to get internship, Angie's List is the best place to work, start working for small, mid-size enterprises. And worldwide, whether you talk about US, whether you talk about India, Dubai, Pakistan, it's always 70% small, medium enterprises that hire. But people are always looking for the Fortune 100, 500 companies. You're lucky if you get landed up on your first days, but if you've been struggling to make it through, Angie's List is the best site. And then the fifth one, which many people not realize, is Craigslist. I have so many clients, automotive dealers, dental offices, recreation houses, RV parks, apartment complex. They hire people through Craigslist, and it's not that they get a job of $8 to $10 an hour. They post job up to $60,000, $80,000 a year. But the idea is you need to fish in a place where there is less competition. If you go on Indeed, if you go on dice.com, everybody's there. If you go on applying on LinkedIn, everybody's doing. But how many bothers to buy in-mails in LinkedIn and email the recruiter, which is there posted on the job 1 out of 8 times? You can easily find the recruiter and you email them spending $5, $10 worth of email that goes as a mail email to that recruiter. So let's say there is a job for marketing manager in Houston, Texas for a company, and about 67 to 80 people apply on a mid-sized job. For a bigger company, about 200 applicants are there. If 5 of them does in-mail, you just assume that 5 mails will land up to the recruiter's box, and definitely they will open because they will have the attachment in the inbox, the Gmail, the email, the Outlook, the Office mail. This increases your chances to land up, right? So these were quick job websites that we saw. These were quick tips to land up rather than applying on job posting sites. It's important, but try to apply through other channels which people cannot. Okay. Now, third quick technique is to find out the recruiter, is to find out the hiring manager. And then there are a lot of tools, like there is one tool called rocketreach.co. There is a tool called Visa, W-I-Z-A. There are so many tools, Salesforce data, which can give you access to email addresses for anyone in the world. You type in the LinkedIn address and they will charge you 50, 100 cents, $1, and they will give you the email. So let's say you are hiring 20 jobs, worth it to apply $20, get the email of the person through Visa, through Rocket Reach, and they give free connects and directly apply. So you have to stand out in the clutter. Learn how to stand out in the clutter. So these were quick techniques you learned today on how to get jobs, which websites are there, which portals are there, and sometimes trying next level to work an extra mile. Okay, now third important thing is how to tailor your resume for the remote job. Now the question you need to ask yourself is, why exactly do you want remote job? Now the answers might be different. For some it would be, I want to avoid commutation, traveling back and forth to office. I save time, fuel, and spend time with my kids, family. Wonderful. Huh? For some, it might be that I live in a third world country and I don't have so many opportunities. I'm a grad. I've been unemployed under recession. So that's why I need to, rather than getting outside my country, I don't have money for visa, immigration. I'll be happy to even work remotely for a discounted package. That might be another reason. The third could be you got some issues, you got some medical problems, you got some disability, you got such a condition that you cannot drive to work. That's why those kinds of remote job helps you. Or you are a caretaker for an elderly in the family and you want to be with them at home and also work. That might be an excellent reason. So try to find and separate yourself from the standard answers. Recruiters and HR managers ask these questions very commonly because they want to see if your remote job perspective is due to being lazy, or does that make you more productive for yourself and for them. So you have to show how remote jobs are helping you being productive. And the third most important thing where people failed, and this is a recruiter's survey which was done by Robert Half. The question that came out is, everyone is asked, do you have any remote job experience? And the minute you answer them no or 0 months, you get into the red zone. This means that employer has to take a chance or a risk to train you on working remotely. Because see, the problem at the back of mind, it's always said that you want to help somebody, put yourself in the shoes of other person. So if an employer is paying you and you're working remotely, and tracking software, still not everybody uses it, right? So they have to rely on the judgment that you have decent work ethics. So if you show that you've been working remotely and how efficiently you report to the bosses, report to the supervisors, how you are cross-functional, how being a new company, still you are remote, but you convince them. And some jobs are hybrid. Let's say you're based in Houston, but the job is New York. They want you to be hybrid, visit once a week or once in every 2 weeks. Accept that opportunity. You never know. It's always comfort zone with the client. The minute they realize your work ethics, they might make it full-time remotely for you. And then the fifth point is you have to separate yourself from the herd. So the world is moving towards the direction of remote jobs. There are less qualified people who are ready to work on site. So in today's economy, if you try to present yourself more available to on site, because see, everybody is getting towards the catchy remote job term, right? Especially if you live in US and Canada. So the idea is to also set yourself separate from the herd, be available for on-site jobs, figure out what kind of jobs have gone remote. And I'm sure there would be employers in those areas. If you're looking for to switch cross industry, there must be people requirement for full on-site job requirement. And if you're somebody who's been struggling with roles, jobless, unemployed, driving Ubers, we've seen so many unfortunate graduates, very bright people who are driving these things. No harm, trying to make your finances meet, but try to do a cross-functional industry change. There would be some courses that you have taken in your MBA programs and your academics. You can separate yourself from the herd and try to apply in that way and finally, the sixth thing is always proofread your resume and try to use the similar words which are there in the job description. And why? And I've been conveying and training my students when I used to have those continuing education schools in Texas, and there was a very high rate of placements. These days, HR comes second. There are always automated bots that tries to screen the resume, and they screen based on the number of words that matches the job description. So let's say the job word, there are 5 keywords in job description. You can train your eyes and scan it, or go to a website called wordcount.com, copy paste the job description and see what are the top 4 or 5 broad keywords. Let's say copywriter, let's say content writer, let's say SEO, let's say social media, let's say heat map. You have to use these 5 words at least 5 times in your resume so that you stand out in top 10, and then it gets to the inbox of a recruiter who then picks up the phone and dial you. So now you know why you're not shortlisted. Sometimes you're very well-defined and deserving candidate, but these days the world has gone different. Day by day, we are being based on Python and automated bots. It's also used in HR industry. So I hope this helps you. This is Farid Premani signing out with Knowledge Societies, and we'll keep on bringing more training videos to help professionals and entrepreneurs get to next level. If you have any more suggestions for me, hit in the comment box and subscribe. Thank you. Stay blessed.